I'm live. All right. It is April 14th. It's my brother's birthday. Hi, love it. Thank you for coming on. Today is David Christman's birthday. Happy birthday to my brother. That's number one, I have to say. April 14th is always a good day for me because he was born. He was born a year before me and he's always had my back my whole life. So he's been a huge, wonderful part of my life. He and my son, both of them, I couldn't have made it without him. I really couldn't have. So anyway, happy birthday to you, Snags. And there you go. So today is your birthday in Thailand on an island, and you sent me a picture, a video of your beautiful island. So pretty. Oh, it's unbelievable. So love it. Maybe it's just you and me. I know what I'll do, though. This always brings people in, not because it's because of this, but, oh, there you go. See, you just bring out my SP Declare and people show up. Hey, Dee Dee, how are you? Hi, Jessie. What did you say? I was seeing speeches about Scientology. Wait a minute. I missed what you said. Sorry. Just a second. Scientology in Los Angeles and San Diego when you recently left. Interesting. Speeches from me or from other people? And speeches about what? Hi, Christina. Hi, Buck Buddy. All right. Good morning from Minnesota. Okay. Thank you to the marvelous Miss McCoo. That cracks me up. It really does. And Sophie, hi, from New Zealand. Hello. Kia ora from New Zealand, everyone. Is that a special saying for New Zealand? I don't really know it. So tell us what it is. It sounds cool. Kia ora. Oh, maybe that's where you're from. Is that where you're from? Kia ora? Let me know. Oh wow, I'm super early. I'm so glad I could make it this time. Nothing but love. Yeah, me too. Hey, my Tony, I saw you in the videos. You guys look like you're having a wonderful time in Clearwater. It really looked like a great group of people. And I'm glad you and Natalie went because I think it's gonna be a good week for you. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Hedron. Heidi. Okay. Hi, Tori. Greetings from Germany, my son's favorite country. And that was always really funny because he had sort of left Scientology, but they didn't know it. And they were really against Germany. And he had a German girlfriend. And they were like, why does your son have a German girlfriend? You know, they were like really, really down on that. And I said, he likes Germany. You know, it's a great place. But because Ursula Caberta was on the German government and her job was to make sure people who went into businesses, if they were Scientologists, they had to let them know. And so Scientology, of course, hated that because they're used to being real sneaky. And Germany had it. They're like, we've done this before. We know it. It was really cool. Hi, Tori from Sydney. All right, Verity. Thank you. De Silva, good morning. You look beautiful as always. Thank you. And Gnomestead, my Alaska life. That's right. Okay. Heidi ho, Tori Magoo. Thank you. All right. Now, wait a second. I got to pull this down. Hello, Tori from Fort Worth, Texas. All right. You know that they're having a big party and protest in Austin. I don't know if I don't know Texas that well, and I know it's a big state, so it may be way far apart. But anyway, they're having you can go online and watch it. It looks pretty good. Pearl Snappy and Dan Walks LA went. A couple of people from LA went. It looked like they're having a good time. Okay, Jesse Baez. It said it was the Center for. Oh yeah, right. Yeah. I gave it, that was the first big speech I gave. I gave a speech at that college that I told you guys about with the ministers. But then Center for Inquiry asked me to come talk there. And yeah, it was really fun. They're like skeptics. So, of course, I'm the opposite. I mean, at least when I was in Scientology, you're certainly the opposite of a skeptic. So they were fun to talk to. They really were, because they had certain insights on things that I hadn't really, I hadn't connected the dots on it. And they helped me on a few things. Good morning, Tori, from Northeast England, from Emma. Hi, Emma. That sounds pretty there. Nothing but love. My Tony. Aw, it's great to see you here. I hope you're having a blast. He looks like he is. I think they all are. Clearwater's on fire. It is. It is really on fire. It's so fun to see in 2024. That's why I wanted to do the thing on the injunction, because the injunction was, I think, 2001. I think it was. I think that's when it was. But it was like right after I'd left. And it's just so different now. It's really, I mean, seeing the downtown Clearwater, it was like, wow, it's really jumping. I mean, it was nothing. It was like a dead city when we were there when the Lisa McPherson Trust was there helping people get out. And it was just a creepy place. And now, thanks to Mark and, a bunch of different people, it's really built up. It looks a lot better. They should have kept you on the board, Mark, but I know you'll do crazy things anyway. I saw a video about Barb and Tori at the Humanist Society, right? Yeah, that was a little freaky, because I always do a thing where I get certain things agreed upon, and one of them is, if we can speak, we can say what we want to say. That's just the way it is. And if it were with Scientologists, their rules don't apply to us because we're not in Scientology, right? But that guy, that Humanist Society, excuse me, they had the last say. And the guy was like, I started to, I said, someone asked me something about OT3. And I looked at the guy and I said, well, say something if you don't want me to say anything. And he didn't say anything. So I talked about it. And then at the end, he goes, well, you violated your agreements with us by talking about OT3. And I said, I asked you, first of all. Second of all, I'm not a Scientologist. So you can't run your rules on me. You can think you do, and you think that that might work, but it doesn't. They don't apply to me. I'm not a Scientologist, not even a little bit. Like there's people that are independents and they still use the TAC and stuff like that. So they might be able to run it on them, but not me. It's like, no, wrong, pal. But yeah, that was interesting. Barb set that up. Watching and supporting from Vancouver Island. Wow, that's where Stacy Stacy Brooks was living with Vaughn Young, who wrote Freedom Magazine for Scientology. And then they both left. And they were living, I believe, on Vancouver Island, I think. I know it was an island up around there. I think it was Vancouver Island. But, and then they had all these dogs. She was kind of a rescue dog kind of person. And she had all these dogs. And then the landlord, I guess, kicked him out. And so she put it on the internet. We're getting kicked out because we've got all these dogs. And Bob Minton, who's a multimillionaire and really liked Stacy a lot, said, go to this address and open the door. And she told me, she said, I had no idea what it was. I opened the door and there's 24 long stem roses and a card saying, welcome to your new home, and the key. Isn't that sweet? I mean, they only knew each other on the internet. It was kind of amazing. It's kind of an amazing thing. But anyway, I always think of it when I see that. Okay, Justin, great, literally translates to have life. Nice. Which I always thought is a super nice way to say hi. Oh, I'm not sure what translates to have life. You have to let me know whatever it is that translates to. I thought you meant your name, but I think you mean something else. Let me know. Sharon, hello, Tori, watching from Mid-Michigan. Okay, thank you for all you do. You're welcome, and thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And thank you to Love It for being here as my moderator. That I always appreciate that. And Heidi says, there's a great meeting in Clearwater. Yeah, I enjoyed watching it. Me too. It was really fun. They're having a good time. They really are. It was amazing to see. Because when we were there with well, yeah, that's what happened. Bob flew us in. We were going to do a vigil for Lisa McPherson, which tonight they went over to Lisa McPherson's, you know, brick, because they had all these bricks and they were selling them, building like a little road, and so Mark Bunker said tonight they tried to buy the Lisa McPherson a brick for in honor of her, and at first they said no, they wouldn't do it. They said no, you can't. And so he contacted the ALCU, or I think it's the ALCU, right? But the guys that work with discrimination, and they said, no, that's discriminatory. You can't do that. You have to sell them the brick. So they got the Lisa McPherson brick, and Mark showed it tonight. And apparently, recently, someone had scratched it, and so Aaron had to go down there and paint it, and stencil the name and everything. But it's there, and it's got a really good. That was the other thing. Mark told the story of how originally it was like way, way back down the street, and then it moved up a little bit, and then something happened, and it's way at the front. It's right. It's like the first brick. It's really neat. It's kind of cool. When you think of how much they tried to, suppress it. It's so ironic the way they declare people like me and many, many hundreds of people, probably thousands, suppressive people, yet they're doing suppressive things all the time. And they don't see that, and you just think, you don't see that? It's really tricky for me. So I'm glad you enjoyed watching that. I did too. And Love It says, please hit the like button. Make sure you're all subscribed. So please do that. That's good. Thank you. And hi from Queensland, Australia. Okay, Stephen Miller. I love that name because that's the guy that told me about everybody who died in Scientology. Not that that's a great thing, but I really liked him. He was a really nice guy. But his name was just Steve Miller. And so you're Stephen Miller, and you're from Queensland, Australia, and he was not. So anyway, I'm happy you're here. Sophie, okay, you're sending a heart to Justin. Henna Catalyst, okay. Love to hear that there was a protest in Austin. Wish I could have joined it. I wish I could have joined. I drive past the org on my way to work. Yeah, that's too bad. That would have been, I think they're having it for a few days. So go look and see, because they probably have it tomorrow if you want to go up there. I don't know. Jessie just said you would be going skydiving with her. She is so funny. She's such a cornball. She and I together, like Mark, Aaron asked Mark Bunker tonight, because, I'm like Lucille Ball with computers. I know nothing about them. And Bunker has helped me for years, trying to, he's the one who brought the webcam and said, we're going to start a YouTube site for you. And that was Mark. So tonight, Aaron says to Mark Bunker, I saw it on the video, and he goes, can you believe that Tori Magoo has got into live streaming before you? They both just started laughing, because they know, how unreal that is, that I would be ahead of Mark in anything having to do with computers. I mean, he won an Emmy for editing. The guy knows his shit. And he has content, these are content creators, right? And Mark has all these old videos that are just fantastic. So it's going to be fun, because he's coming soon, and he knows how to edit. Do you see what I mean? So he knows how to really snazz up things and stuff. So I think we'll all really enjoy it when he gets going. And it should be soon. But it was just funny to hear them laugh, that I beat him to that, and he mentioned Jessica, that Jessica and I had gotten together, and she had taught me, how to do it. And we've just had a lot of fun together. We really have. Okay, so now Sophie, Tori, Justin was saying the direct translation of Kia Ora, which is, it's I don't know how to say that word, Mary for hello here in New Zealand. Okay, cool. Thank you. So kia ora is hello in New Zealand. So if I went there, I'd say kia ora, right? Am I right? That's beautiful. I didn't know that they had um, I didn't realize that the New Zealanders, that's going to sound so sort of knuckle ahead of me, but I didn't realize they had a separate language. I really didn't. I thought they used, because the people that I know from New Zealand all speak English, but a lot of people around the world speak English and another language. So maybe that's it. I just didn't know it because no one's ever said anything in another language that's from New Zealand. So that's cool. Good morning, Tori from Hans Christian Schwartz. Good morning. And Arkansas Flamingo. Wow, that's a good name. Yay. Alive. So glad you are back live and that you beat your buddy Mark back on YouTube. Aaron was teasing him about it. I know. Peace out. I know it's always going to be a joke because, like I said, Mark is a Emmy award-winning editor, and he knows videos and sound and everything. I mean, I'm going to actually talk to him because a lot of people who use their cameras to interview someone or ask them questions, they don't have an extra microphone, so you can you can hear them, but it's sort of like this. It's not really clear. And Mark always, whenever he would interview people, originally he just brought a hand microphone and he would give it to you, and then you'd have a separate mic, but you could definitely hear it. And now he does this whole thing where he hooks it up, so it's on your shirt or something like that. But it's very clear because of that. So I'm going to ask him to show Aaron how to do that, and hopefully other people, so that we can hear him, because I could barely hear Mark tonight, because I finally turned up the volume. I realized part of it was my volume was halfway down, so I turned it up and that was better. But I still, with a lot of different things, that I think it would be better if we had a separate mic or something. All right. Yeah, I know. I don't really feel like I beat him ever, ever. But it is funny that I was on the live streaming before him. I think I told him about it. I don't even know if he was into it, but maybe he was. I don't know. And James Smith said he hides from COS for 30 years because of his involvement in that one movie early in his acting career. Okay, and he is who? He hides from the Church of Scientology for 30 years because of his involvement in that one movie early in his acting career. You'll have to explain that a little bit more. So please clarify who's he, and what was the original movie. Yeah, let us know those things. It's actually a sidewalk called Gaslight Alley. That's right. They mentioned that tonight, that's what it's called. And they sold those different bricks to different people. Tori now has an Amazon wish list. That's right. We saw that last night, love it, but a few people tried it and it doesn't, because we couldn't get the link to go. But what we realized last night, and I don't know if it really works or not, but you could copy paste it and then go to Amazon and put it on in Amazon, and then it should come up. I have to try it today. I actually haven't tried it yet to see, but that was a suggestion from last night that I think it should work. Okay, and this is watching from the Canadian prairies. Wow. Okay, this is a little long, so I'm going to put it up here. Watching from the Canadian prairies, DK, Canada. Scientology almost got me in New York in the 80s. Wow. Tempted by the psych test, but didn't have the time as I was a tourist and had too many things I wanted to do and see. Thank goodness. Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, they are very tricky at what they do. I always tell people, because a lot of people that have never been in want to go try it. They go, oh, they'll never get us. But I usually say, don't go, because you'll be surprised. They're good at what they do. And at least it puts something in your head that isn't true, because they say it is, but it isn't. And they have enough proof that isn't really proof. So anyway. Not the Steve Miller as the fly like an angel. as in the fly like an angel. I think Steve Miller that I'm talking about is from Scientology, and I don't know the fly like an angel. I don't know that reference. I laughed so hard when Aaron said that about you streaming before Mark. I know it was funny. It was really funny because especially if you knew how much Mark has helped me for years. I mean, I was literally, I think I bought a computer. I didn't know Mark at the time because I was in Scientology, and I bought a computer, and I think we plugged it in. I think Bill Yachty helped me plug it in, and then he left. And of course, I got up the next day and it was all black, and I didn't know what to do. And I think we'd set me up with an email for AOL. So I called AOL and I said, I think my computer broke. And the guy said, this was in the 90s, in the early 90s. And he said, well, let me ask you a couple questions. Did you turn it on? And I said, I don't know how to turn it on. Someone else brought it over here, so I don't even know how to turn it on. And he goes, well, look down there. There's a button, press that button, and up came all this stuff. I was like, oh, thank you so much. But literally, Bunker has helped me all the way along. I mean, in many, many ways. So it's really funny. That's why they're laughing so much, because it's like I'm a total knucklehead when it comes to computers. And I keep trying to learn, but it's difficult. It is, because I'm always afraid if I hit something wrong, then it's going to all get weird. And I don't know how to, so all my computer geek friends say, just don't touch anything. Just leave it be. We'll come over because they know me. And it's like, well, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Then the whole thing gets screwed up. Anyway, I know I laughed hard at that too, Christina. Nothing but love. I cannot wait to see what Mark does. Me too. He's so much fun to watch. I know. I can't wait to see his videos. They're going to be good because he, like I said, he has content. You know what I mean? He has years of interviewing people, and I know him. Like he said tonight, he was the person. I was there when he interviewed Jason Begay, and if you haven't ever seen that, Google Jason Begay and plus Clear, because it is hysterical, but Mark filmed that, and Aaron came up with a good idea tonight, which is he said, you don't have to show the whole thing in one video. You could make it, 3 or 4 videos, and they'll be good together because Mark has been helping. I think Aaron has been helping Mark, but they'll be good because Mark knows things about computers too that are good. Good morning from South Africa, KL. All right. Good morning. And Sharon, I watched Aaron's live stream of him repainting Lisa's brick. Yeah, I did too. It was very touching. I agree. It was. All right. And this is, yes, Tori, that's in the language of our indigenous culture. Okay. You pronounced it really well for someone who's never heard it before. Maori. I like it. I remember that. I remember the indigenous people because they were at Flag, and I've always wanted to. My original goal in high school was to go join the Peace Corps and go to Kenya, go to Africa. And my boyfriend did and was there for all the time I was in Scientology. He was in Africa. So anyway, I'm at Flag and they say, yeah, there's somebody from New Zealand here. And I said, really? And they said, yeah, he's indigenous. And I didn't know what that meant. And I said, well, and that is, and they said, well, he's kind of a native, he lives in the mountains. And I said, well, I really want to talk to him. How can I find him? And they said, well, he's the only guy with a dress on or a skirt on. He had on a skirt, and he was really nice. It was really wonderful. I mean, I was like, oh God, what a wonderful community and just the country. It's really nice. But thank you for that, Sophie. Thank you for explaining that. Okay, and this is the native language of New Zealand is Maori, a Polynesian language. Okay, like the native language of Hawaii is a as a Polynesian language. Okay, so they both have the same language? Wow, that I didn't know at all. Thank you. Wow, you guys are just a wealth of knowledge. I love learning things. I really do. I mean, that's why I never read fiction. I'm always reading tonight I just saw someone talking on TV about historical biographies, and I thought, well, I could do that. I could try that because I love biographies and I love history. So I thought that would put two combos together. It'd be really cool. So anyway, but I'm kind of one of those people that's always trying to catch up on stuff that just like this. I didn't even know that. So I don't have time to read fiction. It's like, no way. Not gonna happen. Okay. And Justin said, Sophie, I was thinking exactly the same thing. They were sending love to each other. Okay, now, yeah, see? I really struggled to hear Mark on Aaron's stream as well. A separate mic is a good idea. Yeah, I think it is. I really do. And I think it's true for a lot of these live streamers because they talk to people, but then you can't hear what the other person's saying. You can hear them because they have the mic, but there's no other extra mic. So I'm going to look into it because I think it's important. And I'm going to talk to Mark and see if he can kind of, once he gets going, believe me, he'll help us. He'll help everybody because that's the way he is. Okay, now this is Sharon. Tori, I'm so sorry I spelled your name wrong earlier. Don't worry, no problem. I mean, DOA spelled it for my PayPal thing is spelled wrong. It's like, oh, pay. And I can't get it changed. So whatever. It just is what it is. Everybody said, don't worry about it. But I'll show it to you just so in case you missed it. It's funny. Where is it? Let's see. Here it is. Tori. But that was my bad. I should have been watching him. I just didn't think, I just didn't think that, he had all my information. So whatever. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So it's not the same language exactly, but the same roots. I gotcha. Okay. And this is love in Hawaiian is aloha. Love in Majori is aroha. Oh, interesting. Very close, but different. You're right. Okay, this is Sophie. Tori, we do speak English too, but we have worked really hard to incorporate Te Reo, Majori language, into our everyday talk as a way to keep it alive and being spoken. We would love it if. Well, I'm glad you're doing that too, because that's always good to keep the culture. And if you want to finish that, you can. You'd love it if you have to finish the sentence. Hello, Miss Tori. Hope your day is well. Midnight musings are in session. That's right. Midnight with Magoo. And thank you all for coming. I really, really appreciate it and love it. I really appreciate it. Thank you, love it, for putting here's the Mark Bunker, Jason Begay video. I'm telling you guys, don't miss it. It's hysterical. Unless if you really have problems with swear words, don't watch it because this guy swears like a tiger. I mean, I was like, yeah, I was right there because you hear him a couple of times mention me, and I thought maybe I should tell him, to not swear so much because he really is pissed off. But I thought, no, this is too classic. I'm going to say nothing. I'm going to just sit here and let it roll. And I'm so happy I did because it would have been a different video if I had said something. And it was really, it's awesome. But if you're offended by swearing, either get over it for this video and watch it, or don't watch it. That's it. Both come from the language group Micronesia, but not same. Okay. All right. And your name is H. I like that. Sophie, Hawaii and Majori are similar but different as well, if that makes sense. Yeah, it definitely does. Holly Lewis, DOA, ate too many muffins that night. I know that's true. Was that the night that he did that? I'm trying to think. Was that the night that he put those on there? No, that wasn't. No, I don't think so. Maybe you're right. I remember one night what happened was he did the big Easter thing and then he slept in his van. The next day someone left some muffins. And so he ate a couple of them and he arrived here. He was like stoned, like I couldn't believe. And they were like, well, we were just wondering if you'd notice. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, it was just, his eyes are like really teeny. You can watch the video and see it. But yeah, he only ate two, but he said, I've never been this stoned in my life. It was like ridiculous. I mean, I took him out to eat. We fed him. We got him a bunch of, tea and stuff like that. And at 8:00, he was still stoned. He said, this is ridiculous. So I don't know. I think we had already put those on and they came over. I can't remember. I get mixed up on it. Maybe you're right. Maybe that was it. That probably was it. Okay, you can cancel your PayPal and start a new one. That's an idea. All right, love it. Let me know what you think about that, if I should do that or not. Okay, so these guys are all talking together and thanking Love It. Suppress a squirrel, my pleasure. She said thank you to Love It. Bottoms up. Okay, so we are limited with how many words can be written in one message. That's why the message ended. Oh, no, I didn't know that. YouTube automatically cuts the rest off. That's not fair. I didn't know that. I knew on, I think it's TikTok. I think or no, it's the one that I'm not on, Twitter. They had a limit on how many words, but I didn't realize here they did. No, I didn't know that at all. Thank you. Thank you for explaining that. That definitely helps Bottoms Up. Please take a quick detour to the like button. Oh, here's Love It. Thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. Thank you. All right, so we got 121 people here. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, she said, no, it wasn't the same night DOA had the muffins. I was making a joke, yeah. But I think he was pretty high the night he messed up on your PayPal. I don't know. I don't know. He didn't seem like it. The night they came over for that, they seemed like they weren't high. But they definitely were that night, the night when he had the muffins. Hi, Holly Lou. Okay, so you guys are saying hi to each other. I wonder if LRH had to return after 22 years. I don't think so. I don't think that's a problem we're going to have. Oh, okay. Love It is now going to be starring comments and questions now. All right. So I don't see any that are starred, but I believe you. Oh, I see. That's why people write in shortened sentences. I never knew that. I knew that for Twitter. That's where everything's all shortened down, but I didn't know it for here. I absolutely love Tori. Oh, thank you. That's very nice. I'll show you. See, she said it. Thank you. Now, if I can say your name, that'd be better. Let's see. Pinch Becky. Often's given. Okay, I have a feeling that's a secret code. All right. Afterlife Amend project. For who? Afterlife Amends project. Probably for me to learn computers. Stopping in to say hi. Hi, Carefree for JCYT. Okay, hello. Jason Begay saying, come up to present time is burnt in my memory. Was that the bunker interview? I think so. I mean, we were that was always the end of Dianetic auditing, was come up to present time at the end. And so I think it was. I think that was part of it. But it's the one where he's literally swearing through the whole thing about clear. Show me the MF clear, right? Yes, Tori, that message before cutoff. Okay, thanks, Sophie. I got it. Cheers from Australia. Hey, the little sparrow is here. Just flew in the window from Australia. That's cool. Okay. Oh, you didn't know that, Sophie? That was me? Because he says Tori. He says my name on the video. Yep, that was me. I was there with Bunker. It was a wild day. I mean, we had no idea. I mean, when you see, I mean, I think it had like 80 million views. I mean, it was just like, it just went around the world. It was like, wow. Because, he's a celebrity. And then to hear him ranting on and on, I mean, it was just awful for Scientology. It was great for us. We thought it was hysterical, but it was really funny. Yeah, I know. I haven't watched it either. I want to see it too. I'm going to watch it again. I'll watch it again after we finish. As always, love from Winchester, UK. Okay, hello, UK. Yeah, I'm going to watch it again too because I haven't seen it in years since it was made. Really. Pinche Becky 0F's given. Okay, this is like Pig Latin or something. Pinche Becky 0F's given. Okay, does anybody want to guess what that is? Nip Hatch. I don't know. I have no idea, but somebody does. Okay, so now here's Holly. Well, I keep sticking my foot in my mouth. I'm Sagittarius. It happened quite often. Maybe DOA was just tired that day. Whatever it was an innocent mistake, and I shouldn't be speaking on him. It's okay. Don't worry, Holly. I get it. It's just a comment. And, we all love DOA, so there's nothing you could say that would, be bad. After your divorce, have you had any other long-term relationships? I had one for a couple of years, and it ended up someone actually in New Zealand helped me get out of it. It was very tricky. It was very, very tricky. But the girl in New Zealand, Glenda Smith, I'll always thank her. And a few other people. I had like four or five people that helped me because I was in it. And one of the best things was Nancy Maney, because in the beginning I was like, I just don't know. I met him online, right? So I met him online on xscientology.net on the chatting board. And we just didn't know about him because he'd be sort of this way, sort of that, and we were like, is he OSA? Is he Scientology? Is he an ex-Scientologist? What is it? And she was a nurse from like a heart nurse. And so finally one night she said, well, I'm going to call him. And so she said, okay. So she called him and she called me back and she said, he has the greatest bedside manners ever. And so then, anyway, it evolved and he flew me up there and we kind of got it together. But then I realized he was drinking. Actually, Andrew helped me. Andrew's the one who turned me on to Jessica. And Andrew was watching me up there and he sent me a thing saying, every photograph I see with you with this guy, you have a drink in your hand and you don't drink. Because I don't. I mean, I have like a beer, maybe 1 or 2 beers a month. That's it. I only have 1 beer at a time. I never have more than 1 beer. And so he was like, you're not really a drinker. And he reminded me, this is a lot like overeaters. And, I was 100 pounds overweight and I've lost 100 pounds and kept it off for 14 years. But overeaters are the same kind of way. It's like, hey, let's go have some cake, and it's like, it's always fun to go with someone else, right? So anyway, that was the beginning of me looking at him differently because I hadn't really seen that. And I was like, oh, yeah, you're right. So anyway, these four people, but Nancy Maney came up with a really great thing where she said, let's just, because I said, there's a lot of good he has and then a few bad things. And she said, okay, well, let's just pretend it's like a closet and you're going to take out, and I'm telling you guys this because really anyone can use this, male or female, if you're with someone and you're not sure, right? And I thought it was really tricky and it really worked. She said, let's pretend we're going through your closet. We're going to take out anything that's good and put it in the good pile, and anything that's bad, and we'll put it in the bad pile. So in the beginning, the good pile was like, well, I can't really show it. Let's say it was this high, only it was all the way up to the ceiling, right? It was like a big, big good pile. And the bad was like just a couple things, right? He drank and something else, I forget what. By the end, it was the exact opposite. It was like the negative was like beyond the ceiling, and the good was like an inch, not even an inch. It was like maybe one or two things. So it was really an interesting thing, and it helped me a bunch. So that was my one big long-term relationship. Other than that, no, not really. Okay, now this is pinch is Spanish for effing Becky. 0 F's given is her name. Okay. Oh yeah. I think she explained that to me. All right, thank you. What high school did I go to in Illinois? I went to Maine East, which was in Park Ridge, Illinois, and Lake Forest, which was in Lake Forest. But I graduated from Notre Dame de Sion in Kansas City, Missouri. Here you go. That's my high school, thrilling high school things. And I was in a class council in Maine East with Hillary Clinton. So that was fun during that election. When she was running, I was always posting our high school, thing with his Hillary Rodham and Tori Christman and, different stuff. It was kind of fun. I'm not a Republican, so I'm not really on her, but I don't think she is either, right? But it's just people didn't like her. That's what it was. I think they're Democrats, but people didn't like her. But anyway, it was fun for me. It was just a fun thing. Did you see the Jeffrey Augustine video of the IRS? Yeah, I did. And he's on it as far as this money. He's really been on it for years. So hopefully that really starts popping. Okay, so this is not that Helen. Okay, not that Helen. And she's saying hi to Lovett and Sophie. So nice to see you too. And great to catch Tori live. Good. Welcome. All right. Yes, I did try to watch you every night. Okay. Thank you. Little Sparrow. Oh, I like that name. That's very sweet. So now which ones are you highlighting, Lovett? How will I know that they're highlighted? Because I don't see anything highlighted. Just woke up and caught this live on. I'll have to go back and watch it from the beginning. Okay. I think that'd be a good idea. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thank you for trying to help me pronounce her name. Thank you. But that'd be a good thing. This is how you pronounce her name and then put it there, because otherwise, it's sort of like, I don't remember what you're talking about. You have to there's a lot of different things happening in the live stream at one time. Okay, so this is Carrie, and she is, hi, Tori, just catching up. Aaron did have a radio microphone, but it stopped working a couple of days ago. Okay, bad timing. He knows he needs a replacement. Okay, I can't remember what brand he had. Okay. I figured Aaron probably will. I wasn't really worried about Aaron, but I'm mostly concerned about the people on this end because I don't see anybody that's using microphones of any kind. They're just using their phones. And most of the time when you listen to them, you can hear them, but it's not real clear. So thank you. That's good to know. And what talk about bad timing, especially with all those people there. Oh, it may be a bit confused as to where I am. It may find me when I'm home from hospital. Oh, I'm sorry you're in the hospital. Maybe a bit confused as to where I am. Maybe you're saying I may be a bit confused as to where I am. It may find me when I'm home from the hospital. Well, you'll get better. It's like that kind of clarity comes back because you're probably on medications, and that kind of gets it where, just relax and know that you don't need to know where you are right now. They're going to take care of you. And when you get home, they're not going to let you go until you know where you are. So there you go. Simple. All right. Do you remember the song? What is this? Kokomo. Yeah, by the Beach Boys. Yes, I love that. I love the Beach Boys. I really do. I grew up with them. Now this looks like it's highlighted. So maybe this is what you mean by this. It's pinche, which is the past tense of the Spanish for pinch. Okay, pinche is an assistant of a cook. The rest, well, it's naughty. Well, it'd be okay with me, but I don't want to, I don't know who it is I'm okay with. So do what's right. If you haven't already written an autobiography, you should. Your life is so fascinating, Tori, and it's Tory. Just so you know, I try to remind people so people don't keep the other one in their head. Um, Thank you. I have been told that since I left when I escaped out, and I've been told it from people in the industry who, write screenplays and write books, and they all say, you've got to write a book, you've got to write a screenplay, but I'm not a writer. So I need someone who is a writer and they've written something, because various different people will offer to write my book, but they've never written anything. And I'm not comfortable with that. So it's like someone who's written things and, they can say, here's my book or here's my screenplay or something like that. And then we could get together, because I think you're right. It would be a very good story, but I've tried it a million times. It just doesn't work. It's like, no, I don't know. I think, like some people, like I think most writers are not, like you see, I'm very comfortable speaking, but most writers are not. They're very comfortable writing. So it's just sort of a different skill. So I need to get somebody where I can put it together with them. All right. This is the Flopper Squirrel from the UK. All right. Hey, lovely people. Hey, lovely Tori. Hi. Thank you for coming by. We love that. All right. Oh, okay. She was her mom's helper in the kitchen. Makes sense. This is cute. Holly. Love it. SAG sisters. Hi, Kim. She said hi, Tori. And then Holly says hello, Fluffer Squirrel. Okay, you guys are all talking to each other. Oh, now this sounds good. Fluffer Squirrel. Thank you, Jeepers. Tell everyone about your streamer list. It's amazing. Love from Winchester. Yeah, could you tell all of us about your streamer list, or could you email it to me if it's too big to put here, because it might be too big, or unless you have a link, and then we could just use the link. But otherwise, could you email it to me and I'll show you my email. This is new for me, so it's fun. There's my email, ToriChristman44@gmail.com. There you go. All right, now we're going to go back to the comments. Oh, don't feel sorry. They just explained to me that you can't. So it's okay. Just say as much as you can say, and if it cuts you off, it cuts you off. But don't feel sorry. I'm happy you're here, and you can always say whatever you want to say. And if I don't understand it, you can just type it in at the end. It works out. But don't feel sorry. I'm happy you're here. Okay, Tori, you're doing great managing your live stream. It's not as easy as it looks. I'm impressed. We all love you. Thank you, Holly. That's so sweet. Thank you. I really appreciate it because I'm always wondering, am I doing it right? Should I do it differently? I don't really know. So thank you. All right, Susan King. Oops. I don't get what the oops is. Aussie oldie here. Maybe that's just your standard thing. Okay, and here's from Carrie. I saw such a sad video today. A dad whose son joined Scientology 14 years ago, and he's been searching ever since. He mentioned Phil Jones's billboards posted from Sydney on auditing Aussie. Yeah, it's tricky. I know a lot of families. I mean, one of my dear friends, she has two of her kids that talk to her, but two won't because they're in the Sea Org. And those kids have grandchildren, and she's never even met them. I can't imagine that. I just can't. Even with being in Scientology, I can't imagine if my son had grandchildren. I can't imagine saying to my parents, if they were alive, no, you can't meet him because you're not in Scientology or something. I can't imagine it. It's just so weird. And if you're listening to this and you are out of touch with your parents, it's nothing more than picking up the phone and call them. They are never going to be mad at you. Maybe they were mad at you when you were a little kid, and so you think they're going to be mad at you now. They're not. I've talked to so many parents who just go, oh, if I could just hear their voice again. So really listen to me and call your parents. Call your mother first, because they're the ones that are really concerned about it the most, per Phil Jones. Okay. Ew. Okay. Charles, I don't know. I'll just put this up there. I was watching a rooftop shooting in Marina Del Rey incident live stream. He gave himself up. So I'm late to your live stream tonight. Okay. Heard something about Hillary Clinton, missed everything before that. Just that we were in a high school. We were in the class together in high school, and then they put us in a class council. And my brother found our yearbook, and he was like, "Oh my God, you were in a class council with Hillary," and she was Hillary Rodham back then. And everybody asked me, "What was she like?" And I was like, "She's just like how she is now." I was a party person, and she was very serious and very, she was getting her stuff done. Okay. Oh, good. All right. This is nice. Thank you, Jeepers. We all appreciate you mention your mention of having a proper mic so viewers can hear responses. Most conversations sound so one-sided, and the streamers don't realize they can only hear their side. That's right. And so that's why I'm thinking Bunker will be perfect, because Bunker has an Emmy in editing. You see what I mean? He knows computers. They know I don't. So I'm not. I mean, I can mention it to him, but I think it'd be better if Mark, if he can make a video about it, just saying, look, this is how it sounds with the live stream. This is how you hear me, but you don't hear, I don't know, we can do an interview or something like that, and basically just help people so they understand. I can talk to them. Maybe they will. I have no idea. Half the time I can't find them. So that's one of the bigger things. I asked Jessica, I said, how do you know where these guys are? And she goes, or I think it was DOA. I said, how do you guys know where everybody is? And he and Laura said we watch their streams. That's how they do it. I mean, they don't pick up the phone, they don't text, they look online, and it's like, oh, there they are. All right, let's go down to the complex. There you go. Who knows? It's so weird for me. It's really very different. Oh, I see. Okay. Here's one. I saw that very sad video today too. It broke my heart to see that dad so upset. He said his son was forced to get married at 16. Yeah. It generally isn't a forced thing. I try to clarify these things because there's so many things that go around, and it's like they're never going to force someone to marry, but if he wants to be with her and have sex, he has to marry her. That's the thing. But he could have left Scientology and they wouldn't have had to get married at all. So it's kind of, it's kind of on both sides, you know what I mean? But they don't force someone and say, look, you have to marry them. They just say you can't have sex until you're married. So that's a choice. That choice is on you. It's like, well, all right, I'll marry her. And probably the dad was like, I understand. It's a bummer. But he picked Scientology. It's kind of like, which side could he pick? And he could have picked the dad and his family and gone on with his life, but he didn't. He picked Scientology and married this girl, and there you go. That's what I think. Anyway, it happens. Question: what did you think of the We Stand Tall video? Well, it's funny. I know everybody laughs about it because it is, it's funny when you think of how much they don't stand tall. And especially with Miscavige, it's really a joke because he's so tiny. But I liked it when I was in. It was one of the songs that I liked. I actually, it just had a good ring to it. But I don't know if I saw the video. Maybe I did. I think later when I saw the video, I heard the song first and I liked it. And then I saw the video and I thought it was kind of corny. But that's how a lot of their stuff is. I remember seeing L. Ron Hubbard when I first got in the 60s, and they showed these, or I think it was the early 70s when they showed these tech films of his. And I remember sitting there going, oh, dear God, don't ever let my parents see these. I mean, they would have had a heart attack. I mean, they would have been here with the police saying, get out. And this was when I was in going, oh, God, I hope my parents don't see these. He looked awful. I mean, he had a big cape and this chair with director on it and L. Ron Hubbard. And it just was so narcissistic. You know what I mean? I didn't know the word then, but I knew the concept. So that's what I thought of it. But years later, a bunch of us, I used to have these SP parties here, and they were all in my bedroom, and we were all singing all these old songs and laughing. I mean, it was just really funny. And it's funny when you're with a bunch of ex-Scientologists and you start singing that. It's just funny. And some of them are just, oh yeah, that was, thank you for listening. That's L. Ron Hubbard singing by himself, but we'd all start singing that and just crack up. It's just goofy. Free Tory. Confident Chris, here he is. I am free. So you can be happy about that. But we could free you, Chris. I could get a little sign, Free Chris. I don't think you need to be freed. You're funny. You've got to watch Chris, Confident Chris. He's got the, what is it? The streets, these little streets puppets that he does. And that last one he did was really funny. They're all funny. You're really funny. I mean, you're really funny. He is. And he if you don't know Streets, look up Streets LA. And then you'll see when he does Streets with this little puppet, it's really funny. It's really cute. This is funny. Torytology. I saw you say that about a Sea Org member, though, and I thought, now, wait a minute. You better not be putting me in the same thing. I don't think you are. Okay. Okay, that's somebody talking to somebody. I've recently watched a lot of Mark's old videos on the protests. Good. Yeah, they're good, aren't they? I mean, he's good at what he does. Okay, here we go. Having a separate microphone or some way of putting a mic on a second party may also help avoid sticking the phone right up in their face. Yeah, I just think it's a better way of doing it. It really is. I think it'll help everybody. I think I mentioned it once though, and they just did nothing on it. So I don't know. It may take someone that really does it differently and has it together, which Mark will. And then they'll see it and go, hey, that's a good idea. This is cute from Jill Anderson. Hi, Osa. In case you're here, Mother's Day is coming. Will you remember? Good point. Call your mother if you're in the cult. This community has so much love. It's true. It really does. Fluffer Squirrel UK. Thank you. Yeah, it does here. And it's been amazing how varied all of us are in age and where we're from and what we used to do and what we're doing now and where we live. But we just came together so great. And it's really a lot of love. You're right. That's exactly what it is. Oh, okay. This says, sorry, Confident Chris's chat is late. We were cop watching. Ooh, you'll have to tell me sometime. I don't really know what that is. I know Streets does it, but I don't know exactly what you guys do. Uh-huh. Holly Lewis. I just have to say to it, Tori. Oh, Magoo, you've done it again. I don't know who is old enough to remember that. Well, probably a few of us. Thank you. All right. Now this is High Confident Chris. Hope you guys had fun at playtime. I guess I have to go. Sometime, Chris, you have to take me with you so I can see what this cop watching thing is. Okay, now this is something Carrie said. The ex-Catholic schools do the same thing, singing old hymns when they. Oh, really? When they catch up, even if they haven't entered the church since school. I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right on that. It's funny. Yeah, Holly, I agree with you. We love mini streets. You got to keep doing it, Chris, and keep expanding because I mean, the one you did with Aaron was really funny. The voice wasn't quite Aaron. It didn't sound like him, but it was really funny. The way I forget what you had, a potato or something. It was very funny. I thought you were there. I thought, oh my God, Confident Chris went to Clearwater. But anyway, it was cool. Hi, Osa. A mother-child reunion is only a motion away. It's true. It's it's such a simple thing, and it's hard to imagine. Like I talk to these mothers, so I know how they are, and you just like Phil. They're just really nice people. So why wouldn't these kids call them? It's not like they're going to try to talk them into getting out of Scientology. They're not. They just want to be in touch with their children, and that's the thing that it kind of ticks me off. I feel like going to Scientology and saying, I want to sit down with you guys and talk to you because it's just not right. And everyone's getting older and it's just not right. It really isn't. Anyway, all right. This is Love It. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Love It. She just explained how I know when they're highlighted. Okay. Oh, please remember to use that sign, whatever it's called, which I forget. I forget what it is. If you're not talking to Tori, yeah, if you're talking to each other, I use that thing. Oh, this is good. All right, this is Jeepers. Confident Chris should do a hand puppet. He is. Oh, shouting at people to use full sentences and wearing Sparkling necklaces. It would be fabulous. Meaning me? I don't shout at people in full sentences. Oh, I see, because of the full sentences. I don't shout at people. No, don't do that, Confident Chris. That's nothing. I wouldn't like to have someone do something that I don't really do. Because then it's like, that's the thing that's so funny about Confident Chris doing streets, because it's so right on. I mean, he takes exact quotes that he says, and he says them over and over and over. I mean, Street says them over and over and over. So then when you hear it, you're like, oh my God, it's perfect. Anyway, that I know you're kidding. I think you're kidding, but if you're not kidding, don't do it, Street or Confident Chris. Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. Fibber McGee's Closet. That's an old one. It is really cool. All right, here's Holly. Okay, the @ sign. Okay. Oh, it's an @ sign. I thought it had a different name. Okay, that makes sense though, because then it'd be like Tori Crispin. Trying to look at this and see. So it would be Tori Crispin 44 at gmail.com. Oh, okay. That's what I thought, but I thought it had like it's not an asterisk, but it's something like that, where it's like a longer name. That's what I thought. Okay, here we go. Feral Cheryl does a really good mini streets too. Oh, good. I haven't seen that. That would be fun. I'll have to look her up. Oh, there you go. Here we go. Is that the name of it? It's an ampersand. I think that's it, Holly. It's something long, but I like the @ That's easier. Okay, so I think we are at the end. Does anyone have any other questions that they have before we end off for the night? All right. I'm trying to remember. Oh, that's right. I forgot to tell you the whole story about the injunction. Oh my God. Do you even want to hear it or not? I hope she makes a Tory one blonde, but with the purple street necklaces, but not shouting at anyone. Haha. Thank you, Jeepers. Yeah, that would be much better. Yeah, okay. And this also means and. Okay. Okay. Yes, tell us. Okay. No, I'm not too tired. What time is it? No, I'm okay. All right, so here's the deal. I went, they helped me get out, and they had started the Lisa McPherson Trust in Clearwater, Florida, and they were helping people get out. Mark Bunker was there filming, so you'll be seeing a lot of these interviews that he did years ago. So then I came back to LA, and I was kind of like on the internet. People were attacking me to death. It was like it was a rough time for me. So then Bob Minton called me and he said, look, we're going to have a candlelight vigil and we want you to come. We'll fly you here. So I said, okay, for Lisa McPherson, in honor of her. So I said, okay. So I fly in, I walk up to the Lisa McPherson Trust building, which is behind the big building they showed tonight in the video with Aaron. It was right behind the Scientology building, which was the bank building originally in Clearwater. And they were right behind it. So I walk up to it, and this guy hands me this piece of paper that says, you've been served. And I'm like, pardon me? And I look on it, and it's got like 15 names. And it's called the Injunction. And it's an injunction saying that Scientology had gone to the city and gotten this all okayed. That there were 3 rules to it. We had to, like, if Scientology's on this side of the street, we had to walk on this side of the street. You see what I mean? We had to be across the street from them. We couldn't be on their side of the street picketing. and we couldn't block a sidewalk. I mean, we couldn't block a door, right? Yeah, we couldn't block a door, and we couldn't block their driveway. Those are the 3 rules. And they had all these maps that they had, because they have all these different buildings around Clearwater. So they had maps all over. And I asked the police once, and she said, yeah, I know, it's really nutty. We're having a hard time, following the whole thing ourselves. So I had to talk with the critics, because the critics were like, because it says at the bottom, anyone who has anything to do with these 15 people is also part of this injunction. Just like, that's it. If you have anything to do with them, you're part of the injunction. And so they're all like, screw them. These are people that were never in, and they're just like, screw them. No, we're going to do what we want to do. And so we have a talk, and I say, look, I was in Scientology just recently, and I'm telling you, what the hell is this? Oh, I know who it is. Remind me to plug that back in when I get off, before I get off, please. So I forgot where I was. We were talking about the injunction. No, it's not us. It's my roommate. He always calls me late at night because he knows I'm up late. And this is why the police and the judicial need to know how Scientology operates. Which thing are you talking about, Holly? All right, so the 15 people. Okay, so yeah. And so I say to the critics, look, these guys are highly litigious. So if you all, flip them off, they're going to arrest you. That's what's going to happen. They're not going to take this lightly. This is not like some joke. This is a very serious thing. You should, abide by the rules as best you can, and we'll have a pick. We were having a candlelight vigil. Okay, so and then we were protesting in the day. So we followed, I think, so you can hear from me saying that to them. I believed follow the rules, because I didn't want to get in some legal shit with them, right? So I followed the rules, I think. I mean, at one point, I'm walking from Lisa McPherson Trust down to Flag, which is a couple of blocks away, and I have my picket sign. And this policewoman says, I'm sorry, you can't do that. And I said, pardon me? And she said, you can't walk with your sign up on that side of the street, on their side of the street. And I said, well, how do I get from here to there? And she said, just hold your sign down. So I did. So there's that. But they have probably another time before she caught me, they got me on camera on the wrong side of the street doing the same thing, walking from the Lisa McPherson Trust to Flag, not really protesting, just carrying my sign. But they said that's a violation. She was carrying her sign, right? So anyway, we picket, we protest, we end. I fly home. I'm in my home, and I hear the doorbell ring, and I open it up, and it's a little 15-year-old kid. And she's like, are you Tori? And I said, uh-huh. And she goes, you've been served. And so she hands me this envelope, and I open it up, and it's from the judge. And it's saying you're ordered back to this court on this date, and that's it. You've made 3 violations, and they're claiming a criminal conviction. So they're trying to pin a criminal conviction on me, right, for these stupid errors. So I get back there, I fly back there, and I say to Bob, look, I'm going to tell you something. I know there's 15 people on this injunction, but there's really only 2 people they're after. You because of your money, and me because I know these top secret shit that they don't want known. And the rest are, I think, are just like window dressing to prove that they're not just coming after us. You see what I mean? So that's what happened. They just whittled off each person. Okay, you're absolved, you're absolved, you're absolved. And it ended up being 2 days with Bob Minton and 2 days with Tori. I think I was Tori Crispin then. Yeah. So, it was like, Tori Crispin, you walked on the wrong side of the street with your picket sign. Now I remembered the thing with the policewoman where I held it down. But obviously they'd gotten some photograph of me on the wrong side of the street in the beginning and said she violated it. Okay, so there's that. The second violation was they had a red Sanister. There's this bank Well, it's really this over on this side. There's a bank, and out in front of the bank, there's bank doors, right? But in front of the doors were huge bushes, so you can't see the door. And then in front of that was a red, I don't know how to do it, but there was a red Santa's chair in front of that. So it's a Santa's chair sort of out in the street. Then in front of the door are the bushes, and then behind the bushes is their door. So they said, you blocked the door. And what happened is Ida Cameron, who was like 85 at the time, goes, you want, and it was empty. The chair was just sitting there. It's a red Santa's chair. And she goes, do you want a picture in the red Santa's chair? And I said, yeah. Well, first I asked her, do you want a picture? And she goes, sure. So she sits down. I take a picture of her. There you go. There's no problem. Nobody says anything. She gets up and she goes, do you want a picture in the red Santa's chair? And I go, yeah, okay. So I sit down. She takes the picture. It's like lights, cameras, action, security guards from all sides come up. It's like, don't say another word or we're going to be talking to the Attorney General's office. And I'm like, it's Christmas time. I'm sitting in a red Santa's chair for 1 second. I just couldn't even imagine it. Like, what the hell is this, right? And that had happened before, while we were protesting, during these protesting times. And so there's that. And that was laughed out of court, that she sat in a red tennis chair. It's like, I explained that, look, behind that were the bushes and behind that was the door. So I didn't block a door. I didn't. So then my third crime was, while we were protesting, someone came walking up to me and I was standing by a driveway. And she said, why are you picketing? And I explained why we were picketing, blah, blah, blah. And she goes, okay, thank you, and leaves. And that's the third violation. And it says you blocked a driveway while you were talking to that lady. So now the days are going on and I'm realizing our attorney really doesn't care about me at all. Bob is the multimillionaire and that's all he cares about. So I realize this is a criminal conviction they're going to pin on me, that they're trying to pin on me. And they have all kinds of attorneys that are there. I mean, it's intense. And I'm good in a courtroom. I know, I don't know why, but I just am. And I've been in their courtrooms when I was in Scientology. I've stood up and spoken to the judge when I wasn't part of it and shouldn't be, and said, Your Honor, I've got to say something. And he got all the jury to leave. And, I think I told you this story. But anyway, I've been in court many times. So I know what I'm doing. I don't know why, but I do. So now I'm in court there, and they try to bring up my husband. And I say, okay, Your Honor, here's the deal. You want to bring my husband into this courtroom, then we get to depose every single OT8, because my husband was OT8. And I knew they didn't want the OT8s deposed. So the judge goes like this, could all the attorneys come up here, please? And they all come up, and he goes, I think this is a very personal issue for her. So why don't we just leave it out? So that's what happens on that. So, but there were different things that came up and I handled them, right? So now the final thing is this me blocking the driveway. And, it's going to be a criminal conviction. So I say to the attorney, look, just give me every video you have. I'm going to stay up all night and watch the videos. I know there's something in them that will help me, because I knew he wasn't going to. So I did. I stayed up all night, watched the videos, and I found, there's me talking to this lady on one side of the driveway, and then you see this UPS truck drive right on through. And I went, bingo, that's it. Because it's like, it's proof I didn't block the driveway, right? And it's a visual proof. So I tell him about it in the morning. He could care less. He's concerned with Bob. And he's like, okay, fine. So now I come up, they mention you blocking the driveway, and I say to the guy, I hand him a piece of paper, like UPS truck, like mention that. And he doesn't. So I just jump up. I say, Your Honor, I need him to show you a video that shows I didn't block this driveway. And he goes, okay, put in the video. So I sit down and they put in the video and it shows I didn't. And he goes, okay, That's it. End of the deal. And their last sentence they said in that entire injunction was, "What about Tori Basassian blocking the driveway and the criminal conviction?" And they said, "No, she showed the proof on it. You lost that one. No." So I had to pay. I think I had to pay $100 for walking down the wrong side of the street with that picket sign that one day, and then Bob had to do community service for a few months. So that's what it was. So that's the injunction. There you go. That's the Clearwater injunction. So it was really fun for me tonight to watch the videos of these guys partying in Clearwater and just how wonderful, just really a different place. And there's a lot of ex-Scientologists that live there now too. So that's really fun. So anyway, thank you. Yay, Tori, you're a hero in the courtroom. Well, I don't know if I'm a hero, but I can speak up for myself. I definitely can. Okay, hi, this is from Fiona. All right, and the gang that's here. Yep. All right. No, guys. All right, so now let me just check and see if Lovett has any other things highlighted. Oop, here's one. Thank you, Lovett, for doing this. I think that Scientology fair game policies should be taught in law school to educate the upcoming lawyers and judges. I think they should have an entire course. I mean, that's a great idea. But I also think they should, that absolutely. I think you're right on that, Holly. But I also think they should have a college and a high school course about Scientology doing these sneaky things and fair game and roping people in and their recruiting tactics and just sign here and it's a billion-year contract, but you'll be helping people for a billion years. It all sounds so good when you're in with them, but it isn't. So I think you're right. I mean, I've been saying that forever. The 50. Okay. So I think we're caught up. I think. Let me just check and see. Okay, thank you, Jeepers, for saying tell us the story. I hope you guys liked it. Okay, you're thinking, okay. Oh yeah. Okay, I think I caught them all. I think I've caught all the highlighted ones. Yeah, I think we're good. Yep. Okay, all right, we're good. So if only LAPD would make the right decisions like that. Well, this was a judge. It wasn't LAPD. They're a lot different. Happy birthday, Tori's brother from Canberra, Australia. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. I will tell him. I'll pass it on. Thank you. I appreciate that, Fiona. Good morning and all. Good morning. That's it. And thank you. Wait, here we go. Wait. Thank you, Tori, mods, and chat. Everyone have a great night. Yeah, that's good, Holly. You got them all. I did. I mean, it would have been, I didn't realize the ramification of it. I just didn't want Scientology to win. I just thought, no, I know you guys, you're too creepy. I have no idea what the ramifications are of this, but I'm going to win. And I did. And then I came home and I found out, it's like to get a job. I'm mostly in sales, and now in sales here in LA, they do these group interviews. Does anyone have a criminal conviction? And if you do, there's the door. There's no discussing it. I've been there where people go, but nope, there's the door. So they knew they were planning on my husband would kick me out, which he tried to, but I went to that party and that lady said, screw that. You go home and kick him out. And I did. And that's what happened. But they figured he'd kick me out, so I'd be homeless, and then I wouldn't be able to get a job because I have the criminal conviction. So it was like it really shows how creepy they are. You know what I mean? That they would go. So I'm happy that these people in Clearwater are partying and having a great time because they should. They really should. It's like Scientology, it's an epic fail over and over and over. So there you go. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words. And yeah, love it. Thank you for helping me. Oh, and thank you for reminding me about my phone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to hold it right here so I don't forget it. But thank you for reminding me. Oh, here's the person with the phone. That's cute. You guys are great. You really are. Thank you for staying. Thank you for listening to the Injunction. I hope you liked it. It definitely shows the depth of how deep they'll go to try to screw somebody over. And I'd been in there. This was like 1 year I'd been out, I think, if that. I'll have to ask Bunker. He knows all those dates. Good night, everyone. Love it says good night, lovelies. Here we go. There you go. And I have all those hearts to you too. I love you guys. I really do. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you came and we had a good night. All right. Always love the stories. Well, thank you. All right. So I'm going to end off and have a happy Sunday. All right. All right. There you go.